You got to let the headlock fly and let the chips fall where they may, as it were. Ends up turning out pretty solid for Ben Honus. Not sure who he faces in the finals, 96.
I think Sealy.
Jacob Sealy was your top seed coming in.
He was victorious 12-4 over McDonald of Wolfpack Wrestling Club.
Well, we're going to move up Jake Gunning and Cory Daniel. It's going to be Gunning in the blue singlet, actually, and Daniel in the red.
Gunning Buffalo.
Yep, Buffalo RTC, and Cory Daniel, Carolina Wrestling Club. You see the great state of North Carolina on the back of his singlet. I love the blue. Is that powder blue?
Tar Heel blue.
The Tar Heel blue, it's very classy, I will say.
On the mat at 120 kilos.
So Gunning a win over Jacob Scanlon in the quarters, and Daniel a win over Jesse Webb. So both guys a couple solid wins to get to this point. I believe the winner has Garrett Ryan, if I'm not mistaken.
And there's Daniel has been confirmed. First warning. He's warned for passivity again. He goes in that 30-second shot clock.
Now shot attempt here for Daniel. He gets trapped underneath. Gunning around behind. Able to break that quad pod down.
Joe Smith now in the lead on map 3.
So as we get Daniel getting pushed to the edge, he circles around. Gunning looked to attack him out of bounds for the step out.
Yep, on the edge, overhook toss for Daniel. How are they going to score this one? 1 point for Daniel. So
Confirmed.
It's a 2-1 match. Able to use that momentum against Gunning, flip that overhook by.
It will end at 4-3, ladies and gentlemen, with Joe Smith, the 74-kilo winner for the Titan Mercury Wrestling Club. Daniel scores his first point on map 2.
Gunning looking for that high single. He's used that high attack to get mat position.
So they break the action with 41 seconds left, and they are going to put Daniel on the shot clock. So just in the nick of time, actually, for the shot clock. There'll be about 10 seconds left after the shot clock expires. And Gunning pressuring forward on Daniel, close to the edge. Snap from Gunning, and it's looking like Gunning's going to get another point here. And he drives in.
And I'll tell you what, as close as he was to scoring the 1 point, I don't think I'm getting overzealous there on the edge. You're going for that push out. You're going to get the point if you just sit tight for a couple more seconds. It worked out either way for him. Daniel wasn't able to turn the momentum this time with that overhook.
Yeah, I mean, the only difference is the caution not awarded to Daniel. So does that come into play later in the match? Perhaps, perhaps not.
Northern Colorado Wrestling Club, Chris Farr, Minnesota Storm, consolation round 3.
But we do head to the break. It's 3-1 for Jake Gunning over Cory Daniel. And really, he's been controlling the pace here in this semifinal at 120 kilos.
kind of a turnaround from what we saw in Daniel's quarterfinal, where he controlled early on against Webb, and Webb got back in the match late.
Yeah, that was a close match. 5-4, I believe. It's the final in that one. But Daniel was able to sort of overpower Webb, and it doesn't look like he's able to do that against Gunning. Gunning really controlling the ties. You see underhook there for him, pressuring forward on the edge. Daniel trying to circle in. Now he hip blocks in, and he's going to get a point there on the edge. So Gunning maybe a little overzealous on the edge of the mat. Too quick to go for the 1 point. So 2 minutes to go. Jake Gunning still in the lead, 1 point. Both guys battling. It's an upper body struggle, as oftentimes we see at 120 kilos.
And the thing that I've liked about Gunning, he's using a high leg attack to get that mat position, get Daniel to the edge. Daniel has been somewhat successful turning the momentum once he gets pushed up against the edge. Daniel going back on the shot clock.
Yes, I mean, that's an interesting dynamic. First time today we've seen a guy go on the shot clock twice, meaning the officials really in favor of what Gunning's doing from an offensive perspective. And outside shot attempt from Daniel, he gets overextended extremely, and Gunning, he's trying to catch that ankle, work his way around behind, needs to break the lock.
And you've got to think Daniel needs to drastically change his approach here. Down 3 with a minute left. He's only scored on your step out points.
Yeah, but at this point, I mean, he's really struggling in the upper body ties. We just saw an outside shot attempt where he got snuffed. So the question is, what do you go to? I mean, you got to have a go-to move.
40 seconds to go.
So at this point, it's crunch time. That spot in the Challenge Tournament Finals on the line. And Gunning staying in solid position. And it's looking like he's going to be the guy coming out of this bottom half of the bracket with 15 seconds left. Gunning takes a peek at the clock, 10 seconds. Got to expect one last effort from Cory Daniel. He pressures forward, Gunning circles. And that's going to be the match. 5-2, Jake Gunning advances over Cory Daniels.
He's going to move on to take Garrett Ryan, his Sunkist kids, in the Challenge Tournament final.
Jake Gunning, Buffalo Regional Training Center will advance to the